Welcome to the video from thedigitallife.com. In this video we're going to have a look at another Lumia phone from Microsoft. This is the Lumia 535. We're looking at the dual SIM one here. So it's got the Microsoft branding on there, as it's now a Microsoft brand. So I'll open the box and we'll have a look at the phone. Okay, so this is the 535, and to give you an idea of the size, that is the older 630, which is a slightly smaller screen. So this 535 is a 5-inch Windows Phone, Windows Phone 8.1. So Microsoft have a lot of budget phones, something that I think addressing. We'll see less of them in the future. There's the older 630, 635, there's the new 435s, and then there's up to the 640 and the 640 XL. This fits in between the 435, which is cheaper, and the more expensive 640. So this one is around £90 without a contract. For example, the 435 is about 60 quid and the 640 is 169, 170 quid. So it fits in between those ranges. So first of all, it's bigger than the 435, and as you can see, it's got a nice clear screen. It's got a sort of glossy back there with the Microsoft branding on there. There's not a huge amount of ports on there. There is a headphone socket at the top, micro USB at the bottom. In terms of buttons, we've got software, Windows, back and search. We'll talk about that in a sec. There's power and a volume rocker. There's no dedicated camera key or camera button, which is a shame. And so these are software buttons, so unlike my 1520, which are permanently there, these go away and you swipe up to bring them back, and you'll see that as we're going through it. So I've got to say, I quite like this glossy plastic black back. It comes off, and inside there you can fit a micro SD card, and this is a dual SIM model, so you can fit 2 SIM cards in there. So this style echoes really the 640 style, the new style, which I do quite like. So this screen, which as you see from the video here, is nice and clear, it's nice and bright, very sharp. It runs at 940 by 540, which is not the highest res screen, but it's a budget device, and that's what you probably what you expect. If you want a bigger screen than and a higher resolution screen, you should look at the 640, which runs at 1280 by 720. But as with all Lumias, it's got a nice clear screen, very readable. In terms of spec, it's got 1 gig of RAM, which is good because the 630, 635s only have half a gig, and some apps, especially games, don't run very well on that, so that's quite good. And that is combined with a quad-core 1.2 GHz Snapdragon 200 processor. Not a screaming processor, but with Windows Phone, you don't really need a fast processor. It's all pretty snappy on there anyway. So other specs, we've got a 5 megapixel rear camera, which is quite good, I'll show you in a sec, and there is unspecified front camera. I think it's around 3, something like that. Let's look at some photos. I'll include the photos, some photos in the blog post, playing around with the camera. So, and there's the example of the start button going away, so there's no start button on there. So these pictures are nice and clear and bright, and fairly reasonable. If you want the start button, you've got to go up like that. This one was taken with the front camera, so quite reasonable front camera as well. With the camera, you get all the usual stuff with white balance. Let's load the camera. If you want to access the camera, you can use the camera button or the camera button from there. So there we've got the camera, and you get all the sort of settings, white balance and ISO settings and like that. It has got a flash on there as well. Some of the smaller cameras, some of the lower phones like the 435 don't have a flash, which is quite good. And just hit the Cortana button there, so I can switch the front facing and say hello to the camera, and there we go, and I can switch it back again. The camera is quite good. I'll take a picture. There we go. A bit of a delay on that. If I show you that again, you can see that bit of a delay. Something that, say the 1520, if you hit the camera button on the side, you can take a picture almost instantly. There are some good apps included for camera stuff as well. You've got Lumia camera app and Lumia selfie app for taking selfies, and some Lumia storyteller app and things like that for doing nice little things for pictures. You see all these Creative Studio and whatever. You get all the Lumia apps here. Drive, which gives you the turn-by-turn navigation as well as maps. It runs Windows Phone Update 1, not Update 2, so which means the only real difference is the settings on here aren't categorised like they are in Update 2, and it doesn't support a Bluetooth keyboard. You need Update 2 for that. The good news is you can put Windows 10 on here if you're part of the Windows Insider program, which you can sign up for, and I think Windows 10 will work quite well on this. It works pretty well on this 430, and this is the 0.5 gig RAM one, so it's slightly sluggish. This will be a lot better. Like I said, this has got dual SIM model, so you get see that phone. You probably can't see this on the video, but that phone's got 1 on there, and the phone's got a 2 on there, and the message has got 1 there and a 2 there, so you can see which SIM card you're going to use to do the call or to do the message, and when you receive a call it shows you which SIM card it is using as well. It's 8 gig onboard storage, which you can expand with the SD card, micro SD card. Windows Phone's really good for that. So you can put the card in, and then you can say where all the music content and apps and photos go to. And if you're going to use a Windows Phone like this, it's well worth picking up a cheap SD card, micro SD card, sticking it in there, and you've got plenty of storage on it as well. And you can use you can get the apps to go there as well. So it's very fast and snappy to go through the applications. As I said, Windows Phone is pretty efficient on that. You don't see the old resuming thing too often. We're going into Skype, and I can go to Cortana, and things run relatively smooth on it. So for a budget phone, it's a nice little device. If you can go that bit extra, I'd go with a 640. The screen's better, the camera's better, and it's just a slightly more premium device, but it's more expensive. If you've not got the budget, then you could go for the 435. I quite like this. It's a nice little phone, and a reasonable price as well. So it's good for Windows 10 testing if you want to put that in as well. So that's the Lumia 535 dual SIM. More information on the blog on thedigitalLifestyle.com. If you want to look at Windows 10, you can check out some of our YouTube videos. Thanks for watching this one. See you in the next one. Bye.